Hey, this is Big Guy Robert coming to you with another video. This one, I was trying to find information regarding to something going on with my log splitter. I'm just going to run it. I want you to hear it, and then I'm going to let you try to diagnose what the problem is. And I'm going to draw something. And then I'm going to show you what I did. Let me just run it. Let me just run it for you. So this is not warmed up. The engine's cold. All right, I'm going to give you a moment to think about this. I'm going to show you what the motor is, because there's a whole bunch of these motors. All right, the Honda GX 160. This is a great motor. It really is. I've been having this popping sound beginning of this year. I lent my splitter to someone and they were saying it kept popping like crazy. So I got it back and the popping kept getting worse. So I thought, all right, I've never cleaned the carburetor on this. Though I run high test fuel. The one thing I love about these Hondas is their access to the carburetor itself. So what I decided to do was to remove the jetting inside here. So what I'm doing is I'm showing you the bottom part. So here's your bowl for your carb. As you notice, this part here drops out. This is your drain screw. So you can drop this screw here out. And once you've bled your gas out, then you can loosen this up and your bowl will drop. There is a gasket, rubber gasket between the bowl and the base of the carburetor, so be careful of that. When you drop it, you will see your float upside down, basically. And in the front part of the carb, where that drain screw is, that's in line with the hinge of the float. So you pull out your axle that holds the float gently, have a container next to you so you can put this stuff into. Put the axle into that container, and then your float will drop down, and actually it'll drop down, and this finger here would be your needle. That's attached to your float. It'll be sticking straight up. So just keep it in that position and gently put it down into the container. Now when you can look underneath. I use the mirror looking underneath. So what I did, I'll show you what I'm drawing here, is with a flathead screwdriver, and I ground a flathead screwdriver. I ground the width of it so I can get it to fit inside the bottom part of the carburetor that the jetting is installed. This one here, the jetting is installed underneath. So what you're going to see is a slot underneath when you look up from a mirror. And this is a brass fitting. So this is your jetting right here. Then inside, this here is a fuel distribution pin, I guess you could call it. So you got 4 sets of, so you got 3 holes, but there's 4 sets of it. So you got it here on one side, here on the other side, here, and then one on the back side. Now this is round, it's not square. On the top, you got 3 or 4, I can't remember exactly, but it's on one side and the other. These holes are much larger. So what I did with this is I used carburetor cleaner to clean this jetting out, because there's a hole through the center of this. And this one's probably one of the more important ones, because that fuel goes up through here into the distribution piping, and this top here is what pokes out in your carburetor. So if you were to open up the butterfly, you'd actually see this tip sticking out. This whole thing is brass. So what I did is I put my finger over the top of this and sprayed carburetor cleaner up through here, and it'll come squirting out through all these holes inside this tube. Then I took my finger off the top so it would spray straight through. Then I took this whole assembly and put it against my I'm re-recording this part because it didn't record. So after cleaning this whole brass distribution, fuel distribution line here, using my brush wire, my brush wire cleaner, I reinstalled this back into the carburetor. So this goes first, and then this goes second, because this holds it up. Make sure you put this in the correct way when you do that. When you turn this in, it's not cranked really tight, it's just snug. Inside here, reinstalled it, and then turn my fuel back on. This is my shut-off valve for fuel right here. Turn that back on. This is the choke, and this is what I was using to try to keep the motor running. And it's still doing the same thing. So what I'm doing is going through a Honda forum, because this was something I haven't run into before. So we're going to put my camera back on. We're going to do something here. And I feel really stupid, but this is something that didn't cross my mind. I'm just going to do it, and then I'll tell you what I did. Or you could figure out what I'm doing. So that popping always took place when the log splitter would start getting warmed up, all the time. And no matter what I ran through the machine, there are what we call liquid band-aids, products that go and clean the jetting and all that stuff, stabilizer, all that. Nothing changed the popping. It kept popping when the motor would get warmed up. Well, that's the sound of a spark plug failure. This spark plug was failing on me. Burn wise, you can't really tell on the camera, but it looks a little black. My hand in front of it here looks a little black, but there is still a good electrode in the center. If I didn't have a, say, I think this, I don't even know what the spark plug costs. I think it was $6. If I didn't have the $6, you could just take this to a wire wheel and clean it up. But this spark plug, I think, is 3 years old. I put a lot of hours on this log splitter. What model is this spark plug for this motor? Of course, it's showing up backwards. Let me reverse the camera here. There you go. That's your spark plug for a Honda GX 160. So there are quite a few videos out there showing how to clean the carburetor, but none of them talk about spark plug failure. So I thought I would put that out there, because if you're having this issue, check your spark plug. Something as simple as that. Never even crossed my mind because of the symptoms. It's kind of like when you get the flu. Right now you get the flu, you're all stuffed up and coughing and hacking and everything, and then you turn and take a test and you find out it's COVID. So there you go, similar idea. So hopefully this was helpful to you out there. Any comments, I would love to see them down below. Give me a thumbs up if this was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe. Helps my channel out there, so I can put more content out there to troubleshoot and fix things for people. So this is Big Guy DIY Robert signing off. I got a lot of wood to split. This was supposed to be done 2 months ago, but hey, we all get tied up with a lot of work. So have a good one. Today is the day before Christmas Eve. Usually we have snow on the ground. Effed up weather. So for those out there, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care.